I'm going to be getting married now. And I'm going to make sure that the wedding is everything I ever wanted from one. All fancy and massive. I'll be making sure to have it with all of the most expensive decorations the wedding venue offers, and we'll make sure that a chef is brought in who knows how to cook all kinds of foods to my liking. There's going to be an open bar with 3 bartenders and all the alcohol anyone could ever want. And let's not forget the main decoration of them all, the ice sculpture, which I'm going to have made into a statue of my hubby and I. So I hope to see you there. Oh, is that right? Well, congratulations to you then, Daniela. Know that I'm happy to hear about it and wish you both a happy future. And make sure to throw yourself a really wonderful wedding. I sure will be. So, do you want to know who it is that I'll be getting married to? I'll be more than happy to tell you right now. Actually, I don't really care to know who they are. So there's no reason for you to really stick around now. Huh? What the hell is going on here, Macy? Don't you end this conversation right here and now when I'm the one who came to you all happy and wanting to talk. Sorry, but when it comes to all the times you've come to me wanting to talk to me about how much fun you're having and such, it's been anything but enjoyable for me. And you just said you'd share who they are with me like you were going to give me that info out of kindness. I never said that I wanted to know about them, and currently I'm pretty busy, so... Huh? And you call yourself my sister-in-law? Right now, your sister-in-law, an elite woman, is saying she's getting married. There is no way someone couldn't be showing interest in something like that right now. Excuse me? How can you call yourself my sister-in-law when you haven't given a crap about your older brothers and my marriage this whole time? Well, it's only natural. You think I like the fact that my brother got married to a high school dropout like you? I'm sure you want a chance at having all his money now, but you go find another pile of trash to marry instead. I feel so bad for my brother right now, having to be held captive by you. I understand that you really love your brother and all, but it was him who chose me, right? Also, I know I've had to tell you this multiple times now, but I did not marry him for his money. I am working just as much as he is right now, and our relationship is based off equality with one another. You've been told that by him himself, too, right? That's only because my brother is too nice. I really wanted a sister-in-law who was both beautiful and an elite like me. But my Chinese hubby's older sister is going to become that for me now, which is what I've always been asking for. How wonderful to hear. Well, when it comes to the wedding, make sure you're there in the least embarrassing fashion as possible, okay? There is no way anyone should see that my sister-in-law is an unkept slob. Make sure to have a chat about how not to be a loser later for me, okay? There's no need to be worried about that. Now, as for your wedding, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for coming out to my wedding today with this Chinese hunk of mine. Now, I'm aware that this is a bit sudden of me, but I'd like to ask you that you give a speech for me today. Is that all right with you? It should be all right with you, right? What? You're asking me to do that only now? I've never heard anything from you before today about there even being a speech. Well, that's because I never said anything to you about one. The friend I asked to come here to give the speech today hasn't shown up yet. And she just told me that she most likely won't be able to make it because of a cold. So I'm asking that you please make something up as soon as you can. What? Even if you ask that of me, though, and make sure not to say anything that would embarrass yourself, okay? I mean, you made it through middle school at least, so you can still give a speech, right? But things like speeches take a bit more time than just an hour or two to prepare. Having to give a speech in such a rush like you're asking me to isn't feasible. Oh, I knew that you wouldn't be able to do it. It has to do with you being an idiot, right? Maybe something like that is too difficult for you, huh? But there isn't anyone else for me to ask such a thing from now. And since both my brother and family are all really close to me, I wouldn't want to cause them any trouble. So you really are the only person I can ask right now, Macy. How about you just try and do something simple, like a 5-year-old would do for a speech in front of everyone? So you're saying that it's totally okay with you to cause me some trouble today? Alrighty then. I'll give that speech for you. Really? Oh, that is wonderful. Well then, please and thank you. Oh, one other thing. The speech that my hubby's friend will be giving for him will all be in Chinese. All of his family and friends don't really speak anything besides Chinese, so there you go. And actually, I'd kind of like it if you gave your speech in Chinese for all of them as well. But even having to introduce yourself in Chinese as a high school dropout of all people is going to be impossible, right? Wow, that really will be impossible for you. I'd get to work on using a translation app or something in hopes you can make something that's at least a little bit understandable to them. I get it now. So that's what this is all about. Well, it's all right, though. I'll still do it. What? Seriously? Wait, I told you to make sure you do well on this speech, right? If you start to use incorrect Chinese, not like you'd know any, you're going to look like even more of a fool than you already are. The one being laughed at will only be you. Yeah, I get that. I'll make sure to do this speech correctly, so don't worry about it. You're making me laugh so much right now. This is really going to be the best entertainment a wedding has ever seen. Well, please and thank you. Sure. See you later then. Hey, what the hell was that all about? Are you telling me that you can speak Chinese fluently or something? And wait, your Chinese was so good you made yourself look as though you're actually from there. What the hell is all of this about? You're just a measly high school dropout, right? There was no time for you to even use AI or anything in order to make that speech up. You're right about there not being enough time. Thankfully, though, everyone here today seemed very happy with the speech I gave for you. I don't want to hear any of that from you. What the hell is going on here, Macy? You explain yourself to me right now. There are a few things that led to all of this, and it is too much for me to tell you all about right now. So to sum things up a bit, I was raised overseas. Huh? You were raised overseas? Like, something like that is just normal to you? Wait, are you really surprised by someone being raised overseas like me? There are plenty of people in this country who grew up overseas and whatnot and have just moved back to the US now, right? What? Huh? Are there not that many people? A ton of the people around me are like that, having grown up in countries all over the world. Huh? Why did you get raised overseas and not here in the States? Aren't you supposed to be an American? Why was I... My father worked for a very large company that asked he move overseas for a while to work for a new office in China. And so he took his whole family along with him, and that's why I wasn't in the US growing up. And that's why I'm able to speak both English and Chinese fluently. Huh? I have no idea what you're talking about right now. Wait, but you were speaking more than just Chinese during that speech, right? What the hell were those other languages? Wait, did you not understand any of what I was saying then? Oh, Daniela, you told me before how much of an elite you are. But as someone who can't even speak more than 2 languages, how can you think of yourself as an elite? Huh? It's rare for people in the United States to be able to speak Chinese like I can. The fact that an elite like myself can speak Chinese so well makes me even more than just a basic elite even. Ah, I guess to those who can only speak English, you are more interesting and talented than them when you can speak another language. Well, the languages that I was just speaking in here were English, of course, Chinese, Spanish, Korean, French, and Japanese. Why the hell are you able to speak in all those languages so well? Why? Oh, because that's how I was raised, like most others. Is that not normal? I mean, my family all naturally speaks English, so as the next language in line in terms of being widely used, there's Chinese.
And then we have Spanish, which is spoken by a large amount of people in the Americas. Then there's French and Korean, which both have been seen as more fluent languages, which can be used with all kinds of people, like customers and such. And Japanese can be lumped in with those as well, and considering I learned Chinese from a very young age, kanji is a strong point for me.
Hold on a second. What kind of global talk is all of that? You gave a speech in 6 different languages all at the same time?
Oh no, so you really didn't understand any of that speech. I mean, you told me not to embarrass myself, and so when I noticed that a lot of your fiancé's friends are all from all kinds of different countries, I decided to give the speech in those 6 languages. You never realized that, though? Well, I'm sorry about that.
Everyone in the seats were all happy to hear what you were talking about and how you could speak like that. But does that mean they all understood you as well?
Well, it's not like I was saying too many difficult things in each language. This does happen to be a very international wedding, so I thought I was doing the right thing there. And seeing by how everyone reacted to me, my speech was a major hit. Isn't that great? And ever since that speech, I've been having all sorts of people come up and introduce themselves to me.
I know that. But why the hell is everyone here more interested in you over the bride? Are you frickin' kidding me right now?
Wow. But this has all happened thanks to what you both asked me to do for you. And by the way, you introduced me, right? Before I stepped out to speak, you told everyone, and now for my stupid sister who can't even speak a tad bit of Chinese, while giggling like a child. Didn't you say that with the intent of belittling me? They all just assumed that I'd get out there and only be able to say things in English, and probably had little hope for me. But when I began to talk to all of them in 6 different languages like that, they were all falling out of their chairs, right?
Are you wanting to say that I'm the one who made things turn into this?
Well, for lack of better words, yes. But isn't this just wonderful? Your wedding doesn't have to end due to failure, and all of your guests were entertained, to say the least. Although the things you said about me were a bit much. Everyone that could understand what you said sure looked a bit disgusted with that.
Why, when this is supposed to be my wedding, is everyone talking about you? And I can see more people going around and talking about you while taking pictures of you than they are of me.
That's so true. I've made more friends here than I thought would be possible at a wedding of yours. All thanks to you, Daniela.
I'm not going to let you get away with this. I will not let things be now after the way you showed me up.
Say that all you'd like to me, but you were the one that asked for it.
Hey, Macy, are you all right? I was told by Daniela that she'd been knocked down by you, and that you're to blame for her having to be rushed out of this place in an ambulance and such. But that was, I'm not sure who to trust.
Right. Now I get it. She's been going on about something like that to my own husband now? Well, that didn't happen. She was the one that tried to knock me down and such. But I was able to notice all of that before she could lay a hand on me. And thanks to my quick thinking, I moved out of her way and she fell down those steps in an awful manner, sending her to the hospital. And before you ask, I was the one who called the ambulance for her, so be thankful for that.
I kind of figured that was the case. I knew she was up to no good there. There was no reason for someone as mature as you to do that to her, and it would have been downright crazy if you had.
You're right about that. Why would I ever want to hurt her like that when I haven't had anything against her, right? That's way too crazy of a thing to be doing.
She was bawling her eyes out to me, and so I'm on my way to the hospital to meet with her. But now I know the truth about what all went down there. You didn't do a single thing to that girl. And a few others are telling me now as well that you didn't do anything wrong.
Good to hear that there were others around to see that all unfold. But would you have doubted me without their input on what they'd seen today?
No, I knew something was off about all of this the moment Daniela opened her mouth. Not only was I already upset with her by the way she'd introduced you before you came out and gave that speech for her, but after saying all of those things, you came out and gave one of the best speeches I've ever heard. And I'm sure something like that would lead to her becoming super jealous of you afterwards. But there should be no reason for you to want to hurt her over that, right? You had just gone out in front of everyone and made yourself look like a god with how well you spoke in those 6 languages. So it would never make sense for you to ruin your image right after by hurting the bride.
Yep, that's exactly right, Davis. And that's why I didn't do anything at all. I'm not sure how to say this, but everything that's happened to her now is thanks to her own doing. She was even out there in such a beautiful dress, but really had no idea how to wear it and act like the bride.
She really is so childish. I am terribly sorry about what had to happen. Mom just got finished talking with that crybaby again about what happened to her, and she said the reason she wanted to hurt you so badly is because she was upset about how much you stood out. I guess she doesn't realize yet just how much something like that ruins your image in the eyes of humanity.
Is that what she said? Well, thank God there were others who witnessed what had happened and I didn't have to end up getting blamed for her injuries. So, what's going to happen to the wedding now? I can hear the groom's parents going on about how they hate Daniela now and want this wedding ended. And currently the groom is trying to talk with all the guests who have so many questions about what's going on. Some of them know what happened, though, thanks to his parents, and are just as upset as he is now. Guess the wedding really is over with pretty soon here.
Whatever happens to their wedding and their marriage now has nothing to do with me. Now, if the groom says that he still wants to be married to Daniela the way she is, then he can go right ahead and have her. And I get that she is still my family and all, but my parents and I don't care about what happens next with her, and will not be giving her any advice on what to do about her marriage. That's only if there's gonna be a marriage now, right? If I were in the shoes of that man, I'd have the marriage and all thrown away so that I never had to be around Daniela again. If he actually does go through with making her his wife still, then his family will probably leave him too.
Well, well, well. Aren't you being a bit more strict with your sister than normal? When normally you're so attached to her, it makes me gag.
Oh, so that's what you've thought of us. Well, I guess you're not wrong for thinking that I've been so generous to her this whole time. But with what she'd done today in mind, I'm over her now. A little sister that would go after my wife in order to harm her like she did is no little sister of mine anymore. She's a self-proclaimed elite, so she shouldn't be acting like that to begin with, right? I mean, you can't be an elite with uncontrollable emotions of jealousy and hate like that. And attacking the wife of her brother? I mean, come on, right?
Well, I'm really shocked now, Davis. I never expected a day like today to come, where you'd be saying things like that about your own sister.
To be fair, the only reason you two were never able to grow close to one another is because of the jealousy she had for you, right? I was aware of that, okay? And there were days where she'd say some of the most ridiculous things to me about you, and I had to warn her to lay off of you some. But perhaps I wasn't being strong enough with my words then. Seeing now that she's gone way too far, I have to do what I have to do with her. And I want her to learn that having to get injured like that and sent to the hospital is what she deserved for being such a baby.
And I just thought the girl was upset with me for being too close to her older brother. Well, at least you understand things a lot better now, right? And, I mean, you saw how she introduced me, right? She may have assumed that her grooms and his parents wouldn't be able to understand since she said it all in English, but that didn't make her look good at all in your guys' eyes. What a joke she is.
Yeah, that was some of the most embarrassing stuff I've ever had to witness. But because you went out there still and gave a marvelous speech today, you became such a spark of joy for this family. Thank you so much for being the better woman today, Macy.
I don't like being made fun of by those who are lesser than me. So, please excuse what I'm about to say about her right now, but for someone who has no skills at all and is just a pile of trash to begin with, To call themselves an elite all because they went to an okay university, I had to show her her place. She needed to learn that nobody is going to believe she's actually an elite just because she says she's one.
Well, you went all out showing the difference between a want-to-be elite and a true elite like yourself today. I'm sure she's really beginning to regret everything she'd done now. I really am sorry about her, though, but know that from now on, she's not going to be able to do as she wants anymore. I'm cutting ties to her myself now, and will only be protecting you. I'm sorry for all the crap you've had to go through up until now.
Had that girl not tried to physically hurt me today, she would have been just fine and could have still had her wedding and all. But since it seems that she's just going to continue to try and get revenge on me for absolutely nothing, I'm going to have to call it quits with her myself. Hearing you say that you're cutting ties to her now, too, makes me feel so much better.
I'm sure it does.
Well, I'll make sure to tell her off if she ever comes back at me. So make sure you do the same thing and tell her that you and I are no longer related to her.
I'll do my best with that, and we'll make sure both of my parents are aware as well. Although I'm pretty sure now that no one from my family is gonna want to keep her around any longer, so don't worry.
Great. Thank you, Davis. I'll talk to you again soon after I get out of this lobby.
It's because of you that I am no longer going to be able to get married to my hubby now. So why the hell are you able to go out with him and his family now and have drinks like that?
I can see now what he means by you not being the best at communicating. Don't worry about what all we're doing right now. I was just asked to come out with them for dinner as a thank you. Now I'm going to get back to it and have a bunch of fun with him and his family tonight.
Huh? How the hell can they want to thank you for what you've done now? I just frickin' told you that the wedding and marriage are off now. So what the hell do you think you're doing going out with him now for dinner with his family?
What is wrong with you right now? There is nothing I need to be all worked up about currently, like you, right? And to be honest, none of this has anything to do with you right now. So just leave things be so that those who you are still able to talk with now don't leave you as well. Now, if you'd like to know why we're out drinking now, it's because of the shock you'd put his parents in. And because after you were rushed off to the hospital, the wedding was dead. Everyone was going around wondering what had happened, and both of his parents told him he couldn't marry you anymore. I guess they were the most angry at you out of all of us. And that is why, before things got really stale, and his parents began making terrible names for themselves, I suggested we all go out for drinks.
I'm not playing around right now, asshole. I feel like crap right now knowing that my marriage will never get to happen now because of all this. You already have my brother now, all right? So you cut it out right now flirting with my hubby like that.
Oh, Jesus, I'm not flirting with him right now, all right? And even if I were, he's not your hubby anymore, now is he? At least everyone here understands that and is no longer thinking about you much. But anyway, me being here with him does not mean I am flirting with him in any way.
Well, I still haven't given up on getting married to him, all right? And if you're not trying to steal him from me, you say something to him that will get him to come back to me.
Why should I do that for you? I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I don't think a man such as him should be wasting any more of his precious time on someone like you. You know, he's told me that he always found you cute because of how often you'd work on speaking Chinese with him. He could never understand your English much, but it's because of that he never was able to understand the true kind of monster you were underneath. But now that he's aware of who you are, he can see that you're not so cute after all.
You guys have talked about me that much already?
I know this will come as a surprise for you now, but for a while he'd been studying English without ever telling you, though. So when you walked out and introduced me in such a rude way, he understood the gist of what you'd said about me. He had planned to surprise you by speaking some English today, even at your wedding, by giving a speech of his own meant for you in English. But things really went out of control pretty quickly for you there, and he was never allowed that chance. Also, considering that you only happen to speak Chinese a little bit, which is far more than most Americans can, that doesn't mean you get to go around making fun of others and calling yourself an elite.
Why have you guys been talking about that?
And that is now the reason why he will no longer be marrying you. But you know what's going to happen now? I'm being hired into his father's company and will be working on a new project for him that I'll be able to bag a salary of $150,000 a year on. Things have really gone my way today, it seems.
Huh? What are you talking about? Are you trying to say that it's because of me that you're being given that job now?
Yes, I sure am.
And I'm the one who is losing her only brother now. And because of you, I had to suffer a broken neck and right leg. And I've had to lose my lovely fiancé now as well. This is all screwed up.
You also had to quit that job you had, thinking that you could just become a housewife after getting married, right? Your fiancé was shocked to hear about that. He asked me if that's really a common thing for us Americans to do. Well, I had to tell him that here it's not all too common, but there still do happen to be some very selfish women around who don't know any better. Seems like he didn't really agree with that kind of thing in this day and age and wants himself a woman who can actually take care of herself. You really seem to have opened his eyes a bit now.
No way. So I'm really going to lose everything I ever had now? So, something to get him to want me back again. Please, I'll apologize to you if you do that for me.
I'm sorry that I have to say this now, but your apologies mean nothing to me at all. If anything, I'd rather have you fix that horrible attitude of yours instead of apologizing to me. How does that sound? I mean, I'm already cutting ties to you here, so you and those apologies won't mean anything to me. To be frank, I hope you do go to hell now for what you've done and learn how all of this was your own doing. A few months later, after all of Daniela's injuries and breaks had healed up, she went back to her ex, crying and begging for him back, only to learn that there was no use in trying anymore. She then ran back to the company which she had quit from before her wedding, asking for her job back, but learned that she was hated there the whole time, and there was no chance for that to happen either. From there, she was able to find herself a decent part-time job or something, but I really don't care about the woman at all, and will not be focusing on her life anymore. As for myself and my husband, we made sure to cut all ties to her, and that we blocked her in our phones so that she would never be talking to us again. However, there was this one point in time, though, where she came out to our house begging for her brother to go out and love her again. I believe she sat out there for 3 nights screaming and crying for him to come before she had finally fainted due to not having any food at all in her system. And someone later spotted her slumped over body and called the ambulance to get her. Unbeknownst to her, my husband and I were both away when that went down, and only knew about what happened at our house with her because of our doorbell's camera, which we'd watch occasionally when the motion sensor went off. And by the time we came back home from our trip out of the country, we never had to see Daniela again because she was in too much debt then to afford to come out and see us anymore.
Never come back here again, you broken, useless woman. If I see you around my house ever again, I'm calling the police on you. And then you could be taken away and turned into a proper adult in the society. Although, I wish I could have done that to you this time, but then I would have had to explain that to my son.
No matter what you say, I think it's you who should have the police called on them. You just punched me in the face. What kind of person thinks it's okay to punch a younger woman in the face for no good reason?
What's wrong with me punching a supposed robber in the face and kicking them out of my house? I know what you were here for, and I'm not gonna let your hitting attentions take a hold of my family.
A robber? I am your son's fiancé, for crying out loud. Why would I ever want to rob my own fiancé's dad? Why would I want to rob anyone for that matter? I was just there to come and meet you, yet you stepped out of line the moment I came in and didn't even talk to me first about what you were suspecting.
Who cares at this point whether or not you're my son's fiancé or not? I don't even approve of you marrying him. Gosh, why did he have to end up with a woman like you? He has so much potential, and I've shown him so many other women that would fall for him in a heartbeat. All he has to do is just listen to me, and he'll have a much better woman that he can marry, who I know we can trust to be a good young wife for everyone.
What do you mean, why has he ended up with a woman like me? All I said was that I grew up with a single mother and that she was the only one to really raise me while I was going through school. I never did anything to you that would have come off as rude or hostile, right? And I definitely wasn't robbing you of anything.
You bringing yourself and that past of yours into my house is very rude of you, actually. Alright? My family is very famous, and we have a name to uphold in this city, in this state even. And seeing someone like you trying to sneak into my family is very recognizable. I've seen women like you before that try and get into rich and famous families, with the purpose of leeching off them like a nasty parasite. And not just me, but so have a lot of my colleagues as well. And if they see me letting a roach like you into my house again, they will begin to think differently of me in a far worse way. I'm sure whoever the man was that impregnated your mom, he's lucky to have run away from you all. He probably knew at first glance that you and your mother were both going to end up as useless members of this great society.
Huh? So in other words, you're just judging me harshly for being from a single mother household and are using that as reason to push me away? I have to say, you've made a situation that could very well put you behind bars, Geoff. This could have gone a lot better had you just expressed your concerns with me in the first place and let me explain myself a bit more to you so that you could understand who I am. But that probably wouldn't have made a difference anyway in the end.
The law doesn't care about what I've done to protect myself from a robber like you. Heck, if I had a weapon on me, I could have done you in, and there would be no one against me because I had to protect my son in this house. Ah, and another thing. All you moneyless people are truly thieves. You only live to try and get into us rich people's lives and take what we worked so hard for, right? Well, today our interaction has taught me a very good lesson. I'm going to need to invest in better house security now that I see more rats like you on the horizon trying to dig their way into my money.
Man, I'm actually amazed by you. You must be talented in talking and regurgitating such garbage all the time. Today you've really made yourself look like a textbook example of a greedy villain from some movie, and that's kind of hilarious, actually.
A villain? I'm the hero of this world. It's because of people like me, who have bled for the position they're in, that you lowlives and you moneyless people have the chance to even be able to live. You're the ones that get to have unemployment because you're too lazy and useless to get a job. And that all comes from the money I make. And you think, after living off all of that I've sacrificed for this world, you could come in and become part of my family now? Stop trying to make me laugh. This company of mine employs thousands of people that are below me. And if you wanted, I'd give you a job as well in the company. But I know you'd never be thankful for my kindness. So I'd rather you stay away from the greatness I offer this world.
I have a job right now, and it's working for someone that's a bit less egotistical than you. And me wanting to marry your son wasn't me trying to come into your family with any bad intentions, actually. I just wanted to marry your son, Ben, because I love him and he means the world to me.
That's the same thing. You marrying my son will make you a part of my family and have access to all my things that I've worked hard for. Who do you think will allow you to do that? It won't be me, I promise you that. Ben has been in countless newspapers with articles all written about how amazing of a young elite man he is. He is a star, shining bright in this city of mine. And you have no right taking him off his pedestal with whatever emotions you have for him. If he's going to be swayed by love, it better be to a woman that I approve of. Someone that's a celebrity. Or comes with wealth.
But Ben wants to be married to me as well. He doesn't want to be with a celebrity or some stuck-up rich girl. We've already talked about all of this before and about the reason why he's choosing to be with me over all the countless other beautiful and wealthy women he could be with. And his reasoning was that someone like me didn't grow up in wealth or as someone that's a natural-born model, and that's what makes someone like me down to earth and special to him.
I don't care about what he thinks he wants. I am his father, and not only his father, but his CEO as well. Everything I say to him, he must abide by. And that's because everything I say is correct. He has an image to uphold for his family. And that image cannot be tainted by someone that the rest of this world's high society doesn't deem important. Do you understand?
Really? You're that important and powerful of a man, then, that everything you say is right?
I am. But I'm sure a lowlife like you would never be able to understand my power. I do not approve of the marriage between my elite son and some lowlife who was only raised by her mother. If my punch to your face has helped you understand that, then get lost, you moneyless thief.
But my mom is the chairman of your company.
You're a lying piece of trash. Nice try, but you'll never be able to get me to say sorry to you.
All right, I understand. It seems that this man is not the kind of person I'd assumed he'd be when making him my CEO. For a while now, he's been doing a decent job at what he's been tasked with, but I never really knew him well enough to say that I've seen something like this coming from him. That's what it seems, though, Mom. I was surprised by how badly he treated me. I've never even been treated that badly in my life, let alone been punched. I get that he's got a huge misunderstanding of my situation and everything, but for him to take it so far that he'd physically hit me is just mind-boggling to me. What has Ben been saying about this? I'm sure after what he had to witness, he's in a pretty tough spot with his dad. For the longest time now, he's struggled in dealing with his dad, actually. Ever since he was born, his dad made it very clear that Ben couldn't have a life of his own and that he was the only one who could make choices for him. That's why originally I was going to introduce myself and ask his dad to allow me to marry his son. I tried my best to sell to him that I would be a great wife to his son and him when I married into the family. But I think me saying that I've only been raised by you led him to believe there's something wrong with me, and that he's not the man that'll allow anyone with a perceived imperfection to be with his perfect and elite son. So much for that now, and I regret that I ever brought anything about myself up to him. If he was going to be that upset about it, I should have just lied to him to get his approval, and then after the marriage took Ben as far away as I could from him. I'm sure Ben's pretty upset by this as well. I myself never saw Geoff as being that sort of hideous man. This is my fault for letting him think he could get away with such a thing. Maybe the position of CEO is too much for him, and he thinks that in that position he's something better than everyone else and above the law, which really scares me. But him becoming a CEO does kind of make him a big deal, right? I mean, he's in charge of a lot of your company now, and without someone in that position, you'd have a very hard time keeping your company under control. So there was no helping him from being corrupted by power and the name he has now. He must have done something for the company that made you trust him, and that means it's fine letting him stay in that position. However, it would be nice for him to go to 1 or 2 ethics classes in the near future. No matter how good he's doing at his job, if he has a terrible personality, then he's not worth being in the company. If this is how he's acted out towards you, then I'm sure a lot of the employees within the company have felt the same kind of wrath. I'm going to start a very thorough investigation into him and have him fired at the end of it. I want to know what others in the company think of him, and I want to see what else he's done that I'd never guessed he'd do. That way I'll have all the evidence stacked against him, just in case he thinks he can try and fight me in this company on my decision. And also, punching my own daughter like that, I cannot allow that sort of behavior. I bet he'd never done something like that if I came along with you to meet him. Can you make sure to take pictures of your face and everything that's bruised up or swollen so that we can use the pictures later as even more evidence? I just want to make sure we have everything covered before taking care of that gross pile of garbage. I'm fine, though, Mom. He actually sucks at throwing punches, and so that last one was like taking a pillow to the face. I get that you need to do something about him, and I do want you to make sure he pays for his way of thinking. But above the physical pain I feel right now, having to see Ben as sad as he is right now is heartbreaking to me. He was the one that brought me along to meet his dad, and now he feels some sort of responsibility for what's happened. I've told him that he doesn't need to feel sorry, but every time he sees my black eye, he starts to cry a lot. You have a black eye now, too? Make sure that you start putting ice around it to help it all go away soon. And as for you and Ben, I think you need to go have a long talk about this with him and explain that he really doesn't have to feel any sort of responsibility for what happened. I'm not sure even he thought his father could stoop as low as he did. And I'll make sure not to step into that. It's your guys' decision. You're old enough now and at that point in your life where you need to be there for him and comfort him when he's at his weakest. I'm sure what would really make him happy is talking all this through after he's done crying. Yeah, all right. I'll do that. Just know that I myself feel sorry for never noticing the true man that's been Geoff. So don't worry about him anymore. I'll take care of him for you. And I'll make sure he gets to see all the damage he's caused by acting like an entitled child. Just focus on your soon-to-be husband. I totally understand now why Ben has hated his dad so much. The only thing is, no matter what his dad does to him, he always seems to want to stay by his dad's side. I really don't want him to think that he has to be tethered to his dad anymore and that he can leave whenever he wants because he's an adult. Ben, he still wants to get married to you even now, right? Of course. No matter what anyone has to say about us, we know that we'll be at our happiest when we get married. For example, even if you were against us, we'd still get married. I know you never would be, but if you were, I'd go as far as cutting ties with you in order to marry Ben. That's how much I love him, Mom. That kind of stubbornness is just like me, Isabel. I think so. So no matter what that idiot Geoff says to me, we'll be fine. Actually, it's kind of fun being picked on by him. Geoff really does try to go all out, making me seem like some kind of a monster at times. But he ends up sounding like a gosh darn fool in doing so. Even if it's fun now, just make sure to take care of yourself around him. That sort of mental and physical harassment that he's trying to do to you, you can only bear it for so long, so we need to make sure to handle it before you run out of strength. I'm worried about you, but I know you can handle yourself. I'll be fine, Mom. I'm just like you, right? Making me pretty dang strong. You've always been on your own, and I've learned a lot from you being a strong single mother that raised me. And so, because of what you've taught me, I'm not going to lose to some pussy of a man. I'm sorry. I'm sure that I put you through a lot of tough experiences when you were younger. Also, I bet there were plenty of times growing up that you felt that you were all alone in this world. There were times where I was lonely, but I'm still happy that I have you as my mom. You are so kind, yet strong, and for the longest time now, I've wanted to become someone like you. You really are a mother that I can brag about, Mom. Ben grew up with a mother and father and always had someone around him, but I feel that he's even lonelier now than I was back then. Thank you, Isabel. I'm happy to hear that. And I hope that soon we can help Ben escape that monster for good. We will. And you don't have to thank me. Me being able to say all these nice things about you is what makes me such a cool daughter, right? Saying something that can make you that happy without even having to think about it. I'm actually really happy to have you as my daughter, though. I honestly don't know what to say sometimes that'll show you how fortunate I am to have you. Don't worry about it. Sorry if I made you feel as though you had to praise me. I know that you're happy to have me, and I feel the same about having you. Thank you always, Mom. No, thank you always, Isabel. When this is all over, how about we all take some time off? Ben, yourself, and I go somewhere relaxing for a little while. That would be wonderful, Mom. Geoff, I have something I'd like to talk about for a moment. Is that okay with you?
Well, if it isn't the chairman. What's been going on? You know that anytime you need to talk, you could come stop by my office and chat. But anyway, has something happened?
Yes, something has happened. Geoff, do you recall anything?
Recall anything? No, the company has been doing very well lately, so nothing outside the ordinary has happened here. You should be quite aware that our company is doing much better, as a matter of fact, with me in charge.
Is that so? Well, has anything happened outside the company?
No, I have been having a splendid life outside my work that I'm very proud of. But, to be honest, I consider anything outside my life and the office my second shift of work, as I'm always on the clock.
A splendid life. I see. So then you'd consider that your splendid life would also involve punching women in the face?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Seems you did quite the number on my daughter.
What? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure what you're talking about at this moment.
My daughter, Isabel. She happened to stop by your house to introduce herself and talk with you about how she'd be marrying your son. But I've been told by her that things didn't go anywhere close to plan and you did something rather unthinkable. I've also made sure to talk with your son about this, so please do not say that you've forgotten about this.
What can I say?
Tell me right now, Geoff, what did you end up doing to my daughter?
You're wrong. What happened was, well, she was talking back to me very rudely, but say that I punched her in the face is not true. I'm sure all I did was tap her on the shoulder or something for that.
If someone were to punch you in the face, would you allow that?
I'm being serious right now. I'm sure that all of this could have been avoided in some manner, but saying that I punched her?
Well then, what's this recording that I have?
Huh? No, that's...
This is the recording that Isabel took when she was around you. And you can hear very clearly the sound of your fist hitting her cheekbone and her then falling to the ground. And I have your son as a witness to all of this happening to her. So what the hell did you plan to do after all this went down?
You have my son as a witness? What has Ben even told you about this?
He told me that his dad had punched Isabel in the face. He then followed that by saying that it's his fault this all happened and that he's sorry. Are you not embarrassed as a father to have your son be the one apologizing for your necessary actions?
That backstabbing idiot. Well, what he's told you is all false. I'm sure that she may have fallen over when I ran into her, but I never actually punched her in the face.
You told me just a second ago it was only a tap on her shoulder.
It's because of my son saying a bunch of BS to you that everything spun out of control for a second. To be real with you, if I'd known that she was your daughter...
So you're saying that if she wasn't my daughter, it'd be acceptable to physically assault her like that? Punching her in the face and giving her a black eye?
That's not what I meant by that exactly. But I do not approve of them both getting married now. I mean, I have the right to choose who is going to marry my son, since he's the one that'll be getting my position next, right?
Stop trying to change the issue here. You said some very inappropriate things to your son's fiancée and then proceeded to punch her in the face. I know that for a fact. So let's continue talking about that.
But well, this is all... You've got it all wrong. Really, I think I've been set up.
I never imagined you were this pathetic of a man. As of today, you are no longer going to be the CEO anymore.
Huh?
Get all your things together and then get out of this building.
Hold on for a second. This is all strange, right? Do you not know how much I've sacrificed for the sake of this company already?
And you're the one that chose to sacrifice all of that yourself. Now be a man and accept your fate.
But...
I have made my choice with you and it will not be changed. You should also understand that kind of mentality well enough, right, Geoff?
I understand. I'll allow it. I did in fact punch Isabella in the face by accident. And as for my son, well, I'm really sorry for what's happened.
You think I'm going to forgive you because you allow my daughter to marry your son?
Well, then what should I do to get you to forgive me? Shall I come to you and get on my hands and knees and beg? Would that be enough to make you happy?
Well, if you happened to do that for me, you might get a better understanding of the kind of trash you really are. Well, it doesn't matter now. I don't want to see you ever again, Geoff.
Please hold on, Chairman. Can you please listen to my side of the story? Hey, can you please do something about this? I never actually knew you were the daughter of the chairman.
What are you talking about?
I'm asking you to make the chairman understand my side of things. I never meant any harm back then. I was just thinking a bit too much about Ben and, well, just for right now, get your mom to understand me.
Understand you? My mom understands you and your intentions clear as day.
Right now, she believes for some reason that I actually punched you back then. You were just talking out your butt saying that.
I am not. You punched me in the face, and so I told my mom about it. Well, that's all right, though. I have that recording of what had happened, so stop trying to change the past and just prepare yourself.
Huh?
I'm taking you to court, Geoff. And I've already made a victim's report of what you've done to me. And I believe the police will begin to investigate the case here soon.
Well, wait a minute. That's going way too far. I'm trying to keep all of this within the family.
No matter what you try and say to me, I'm taking you to court. That's the whole reason I recorded us in the first place.
Then, that means you're fine with never getting to see my son again, right?
Excuse me? Why would that happen after taking you to court?
Did you hear me? He is my son, and he's my property. I plan to have him become the next CEO of this company. So if you're going to take me to court, then you better give me my things back.
Well, Ben has said that he's never going to see you again.
No frickin' way. That man respects me more than anyone else in this world. All you've been trying to do is brainwash my son.
Weren't you the one brainwashing him this whole dang time? You used your authority as his dad to take complete control of his life and never let him make his own choices. Perhaps it's time you start thinking about how he feels before you go and take everything that means anything to him away.
Shut the hell up. What does a fatherless baby like you know what a father should be like?
Me having only my mother around to raise me has nothing to do with this. I was at least able to be loved by my mom while she was still around caring for me at home, and she's taught me a lot, and still does.
And I've done the same. I've given him all the love he needs, and that's why he's an elite. I made sure to raise him the way I did so he could be happy and powerful. And we all know that being an elite is the only way to be happy in this world.
Well, Ben's happiness is achieved by being around people that love him and allow him to live a simple and calm life. And he's grown to hate you using the words elite and loser in the house. He's literally saying that he's happier anywhere besides being near you now.
What? Is that right?
I'm sure you would never have known that, right? And the reason for that is simple. You never loved Ben. Rather, you just saw him as a piece of property that you could use to make yourself look better as a man.
What the hell do you know?
Right? Of course, I don't know crap about someone like you. The only thing I do know, though, is that compared to my mom, you are like the plague.
You're nothing more than a mother's girl.
Saying it just like you're still in middle school. Stop it, Geoff. You really are not in the position to fight back anymore.
For Christ's sakes, you're nothing. Hey, please, can you come back to me? I'll promise to never step out of line again.
Geoff, do you think you can stop trying to talk to me? At this point, you and I are complete strangers.
Please? All of my family has cut ties to me, and my wife got up and left me here all alone. And as for work, I haven't been able to find any company willing to hire me.
And that's what you get. That life you're living now suits you perfectly.
Well, I've thought about and learned from everything now. Just give me one last chance, please. I really want to see Ben again.
All right, then. I'm sure you're just trying to get money from us now that you can't borrow anymore, right?
Huh?
I already know, Geoff. For the past few months, you felt sorry for yourself and have proceeded to go out late at night to play on the streets. And the story about you spending $200,000 in a single night is really buzzing on social media. You even pay people to call you CEO still because that's the only thing making you happy, right?
You even know about that?
Geoff, you have nothing to offer me or my family. All you do is push others down so that you can continue to hang on to your pride, even going as far as to ruin other people's happiness. And now that you're in a time of desperation, you are trying to get any kind of help there is, but only as long as you still feel on top. But you are a disgrace, and nobody wants you around them anymore.
What the?
As a parent, as a husband, and even as a member of society, you are a disgrace who will never be wanted. And I do not want myself or those that I care about being around you.
I have really thought about everything that's happened and learned my lesson. Do you really think it's okay to say such heartless things like that to someone who's already been through enough?
You've been through enough? Well, if you've really gone through enough to learn from your mistakes, then where is my apology?
Huh?
You said terrible things about me as well as assaulted me, yet I have not heard a single apology from you.
I feel like I've apologized already for that.
No. You made a poor attempt to apologize to my mom about that, but still haven't said anything to me. I always thought that those who had really gone and learned their lessons start by apologizing for what they've done. Well, it doesn't matter much now. I'd love for you to continue living in that world you call hell.
What about Ben? What's happened with him? I want to talk to my son now.
You've read that letter from him by now, right? What did he say in that letter?
He said the next time I come around you guys, he'll make me pay.
I'm sure that's hard for you to understand, but what he means is for you to stay away. So please respect his wants and leave us alone. I know that you've never been good at respecting him, but your life depends on it this time. So make this the last thing you can be good for and stay the hell away.
Why? I think it'd be okay for you guys to at least forgive me a little. Right now, I'm super close to even losing my own house and having to live on the streets.
No matter what you say to me, I've made my choice and it will not be changed. I'm like my mom, Geoff, a stubborn woman. After that, I blocked Geoff's phone number and since then have not heard from him again. In his case, he was surrounded by loads of debt and lost his house to the bank. And when he went begging for someone to help him, there wasn't a soul around willing to give him a hand. He also lost all connections to his family, and his wife divorced and ran away from him. He lost his job as the CEO and now has a very difficult time finding any work besides part-time gigs. With all of that pressure crushing his own rotten soul, he ran far from the city we were all in, off to somewhere nobody knows. There are some rumors that maybe he borrowed money from loan sharks and that he was abducted by them when he never paid them back in time. But no matter what the truth may be for his disappearance, I'd like to know because a man with his kind of fragile pride must be in shambles. As for me and my life, I was able to buy a brand new house, and both Ben and I have been living there starting our new life together. And in Ben's case, he took over the role as CEO from his dad, and is now being supported with the help of my mom, making his next year for the company look outstanding compared to when his dad ran the place. Ben was also able to forget a lot of the horrible memories he had of his dad, and didn't feel as much spite towards him, which is a relief for me. Now he has his job as the CEO to focus on, and that's really helped him get over his dad. I'm so glad that I get to be with Ben now and that he's even more happy. And knowing that he no longer has to struggle with his dad has made me even happier. Joan, even though you are like a stranger in this family, do you plan on coming with us on our family vacation? What's that? Good evening, Doris. Could you tell me what you're talking about right now? I'm talking to you about exactly what I've said to you. We're planning on going to a very expensive resort this time as a family for our vacation. And when I say family, I mean myself, my husband, and our 2 kids will be going on vacation to that resort. However, for some reason, I've heard that even though you're a stranger to us, you plan on joining in our fun as well. Why are you saying that like you don't even know who I am? I've been married to Scott for almost 3 years now, right? And if I remember correctly, I've gone on your guys' family vacation with you all every year before this. And as I remember, every single time I had some sort of complaint about you being with us. I was always thinking to myself, why is there a stranger coming along with us on our family vacations? And would even go telling Scott that. And I know that every time you talk to him about that and complain about me, I'd give you the exact same reason. Remember that I've always been the one made the driver in the end that takes you guys out to wherever we plan to go on vacation as well? I feel that a thank you would suffice after all that I've done on those vacations.
What are you talking about, a thank you? We've been the ones allowing you to come with us on every trip when it's supposed to be a trip meant only for the family to enjoy. So instead of me being thankful, I believe it should be you thanking every one of us.
Well, even if you think that to be the case, Scott has always been the one to invite me on the trips with you all. So if you don't want me coming on the family vacations with you all, then go tell Scott that and see what he thinks.
Did I ever say that I don't want you coming on our family vacations? I'm just trying to make it clear to you that joining us when you're nothing more than a stranger is pretty odd to me.
That sounds like the same thing to me, Doris. All you've said so far to me have been things about me being a stranger and that I shouldn't join you guys. I am the one being invited on these trips by your son, so please go talk with him about having me join you all or not, please. Your mom is coming after me again about joining you all on your family vacation this year. Have you still not gone and had your driver's license updated so that you can start driving again?
I forgot to tell everyone that I still can't drive yet. But everything will be fine. I'm sure that everyone will be fine with you being the designated driver here. When we start heading out on that day, I'll let everyone know that I don't have my license back yet.
Oh, for crying out loud, Scott! This is once again you bringing me on a family vacation with you all without me even wanting to go on it in the first place. I have told you every year that I'm fine letting you all go as a family, yet you still don't have an updated driver's license yet, forcing me to be there to drive you all. You can't drive your family, and so you always ask for me to step in. That's the reason I'm forced to be around you all. Yet your mom still comes after me asking why I'm coming over and over again, every single year like she has no clue why. Why don't you go and tell her the real reason why I have to come along with you all as your driver?
Don't worry about it, Joan. I'll tell them soon enough.
Well, when is this soon enough you talk about? I'd like for you to go talk with her right now. Right now, if I have to keep putting up with the way she talks to me, then I'm going to explode myself. You understand that I don't want to go on your guys' family vacation, but I have to, right?
Yeah, I told you I understand that. But could you stop getting so upset about all of this and look forward to the trip? This time we're going to a very expensive ski resort after all.
But if I have to go with the rest of your family, they're going to use me like I'm their maid. And that will not be fun for me whatsoever. Well, whatever. Just make sure to tell your mom about this. Doris? Where have you all gone off to with the car? The signal out here is really bad right now, so I couldn't hear what you said to me over the phone. Can you tell me again what you were trying to say to me over the phone? What is going on right now that includes you all and the car being out of my sight?
Well, just a few things have taken place is all. But the main thing is, we've left you there while we run off and enjoy our vacation without you.
What? You've left me here?
I thought that would be a great spot for you while on our way out to the ski resort. I've been thinking for the past few weeks that the perfect way to get rid of you would be by leaving you in the mountains as we went on our way.
What the heck are you talking about, Doris? Can you stop with these needless jokes? Where have you guys taken and hidden the car?
I told you that we went on our way without you.
You guys actually took off without me? Are you actually being serious right now that the rest of you took off in that car without me?
And now that we've gotten to this point, I just want to say that I only reserved a room for 4 of us at the resort.
What?
So there's no way the rest of us could bring you along to the resort because there will be no place for you there. Thank you for driving us to the resort for the past 3 hours. But you are a stranger to all of us, so we have to get rid of you before we get to the resort. We only have another 20 minutes or so to the place, so the rest of us can drive that length without your help.
Wait, how the heck are you guys driving, though? And did you just say that you didn't reserve a spot for me at that resort on purpose? That right there is one of the worst cases of bullying I've ever seen from someone.
Say whatever you'd like, Joan. But I do not have the heart to reserve a spot for you at this high-class resort when I barely even know you. All you are to my family is a driver, and I'm not going to be the one paying for you to stay with us at the resort. I'll be driving the last leg of this trip without you, so you're free to walk back home through the mountains and in the cold.
Well, I wish you the best of luck then.
And good luck to you walking out of these mountains in the freezing cold.
Can you tell me who it was that drove the car off without me in the first place?
Huh? I already told you that I'm the one driving.
What? But Doris, you don't have a driver's license, right?
And who cares about that? Me not having a license or not to drive out here doesn't matter.
Well, the whole reason I had been driving you all out every year is because nobody in your family has a driver's license. Anyway, I hope you make it out of that really scary drive to that place. Just remember that if anything were to happen to you guys in that car, you'll be the one responsible for all of it. I just received a call from the hospital. Is everything okay with you guys? Well, I can tell by receiving a call from the hospital about you guys that things aren't okay, but that's not what I care about. I just want to see what you think now after the accident.
Joan? You received a call from the hospital?
They had called me as I was the one written down on someone's emergency contact information. But I have no real plans of coming all the way back out there to see you guys. Really, I just wanted to tell you that I will not be coming out there to help you guys. Now, goodbye.
Huh? What are you talking about? Tell me right now before you stop talking to me. Did the hospital not give you a rundown of everything that's happened during and after the accident?
Oh, they sure did give me the rundown of your guys' situation. You got into a car accident. That sucks. But you were the ones in the accident and not me, so... In other words, that accident and all of you guys have nothing to do with me now. So goodbye. I'll make sure to grab all my things from the house before I leave for good, so don't worry about any of that now.
Huh? What do you mean you're grabbing all your things from the house and leaving for good? And wait, why are you at the house right now? Are you not still walking back home from the mountains?
I'm definitely not. I've already made it back home.
Why are you back home already? That was way faster than I'd hoped for. I could have sworn that we left you in the deepest part of the mountains, somewhere you'd have to spend at least a lot longer walking out of and hopefully freeze on the way out.
I was able to get picked up by a nice gentleman who then took me out of the mountains and back home.
You hitchhiked? How were you able to do that when there were barely any cars on the road?
There are more cars than you think on the roads in that mountain range, considering it is winter now and everyone's going on skiing and snowboarding. So finding someone to give me a ride out of there only took me close to 10 minutes or so. He was able to take me out of the mountains, and then when I told him where I needed to go after that, he said I lived close to where his house is. And only a little bit after I'd walked into the house and started to pack my things, I got the call from the hospital telling me about you all.
I really never expected you to be back home in only a few hours like that.
It only took about 2 hours to get out of the mountains, and then another 30 minutes because we took the highway instead of the back roads on the way to the house. Well, unlike me, I'm sure things haven't been as smooth for the four of you. You ended up pretty much totaling the car, and all of you were able to firsthand experience a car crash. Sucks to be all of you.
Huh? Sucks to be us? What the hell? Why are you talking to me like that right now? Do you have any idea what kind of accident we all ended up in?
I don't, actually, nor do I care to know. In my case, I'm totally fine, and that's all that matters. But I have to say, it must be awful for all of you to get into an accident right before you made it to that amazing-looking resort.
Driving on that iced-up road on that side of a mountain was horrible. I was barely even able to keep the car on the road because of the amount of sliding. I never thought something this awful was going to happen to us on that last drive up to the resort.
Oh, come on. It didn't even have to be winter for everyone to know that you driving after having not driven in years was going to end up in you getting everyone into an accident.
Excuse me?
For a long time now, and I mean a very long time now, your whole family has been awful at driving. So bad, in fact, that each and every one of you has had their license revoked at some point because you cannot drive. And this time you were originally going to have your husband drive the car the rest of the way, but he had been drinking the whole ride up, and so you had to take the wheel. But man, was that a bad choice, considering the last time you drove, you got into an accident on that same mountain road, which led to you losing your license. You don't even have a lick of sense when it comes to driving, so what the hell did you think you were doing today, leaving me behind? I can't think of you as anything other than an idiot right now.
An idiot? How rude can you be, Joan?
How rude can I be? I'm telling the truth, aren't I? It's because of the choices you made today that you put your whole family in life-threatening danger and almost drove that car straight off a cliff.
I understand that, but there are certain things you can be saying and certain things you can't be saying about me right now.
Well, I feel I can be saying things like this about you right now since they're the truth. Sorry if you think differently, but there's no point in trying to run from the truth now, right? So what's so rude about that?
You're being very rude. Saying things like that to your mother-in-law right after she'd gotten into an accident? You're the one that did all of this to me, so all you're doing now by being that rude is making yourself look even worse. Do you not feel any form of sympathy for me right now after all of this?
I don't, actually. After all the crap your family's put me through, I would never feel any sympathy for you guys, no matter how horrible the situation is for you all. At this point, I really just do not care. I mean, you told me you're just all strangers to me anyway, so there's no point in wasting my energy thinking about you.
What do you mean we're all strangers to you?
You told me that a little while back, right? I mean, even today you said something like that to me. I am not a part of your family, so you don't want me coming to the resort with you all. And that's the reason you ended up leaving me behind and then wrecked the car in an accident that landed you all in the hospital, right?
I still cannot believe that you made it home that quickly, when I made sure that we were leaving you in a part of the mountains that most people never drove through.
Look, you don't even seem to realize that what you've done was incredibly messed up. I wouldn't want to be anything besides a stranger to such heaps of trash like you. I've finally come to the point in my life where I really no longer feel anything for you, your husband, or even Scott. I just cannot keep being a part of such a toxic family as yours, Doris.
Excuse me? What do you mean by toxic family? Whose family is toxic? Joan, you have gone way past the line now with how rude you're being to both me and my family. And you're a part of this family as well. You're my son's wife.
But that's why I'm speaking as though I'm no longer going to be a part of your family, or Scott's wife. I'm going to divorce him, and then get out of this house forever.
Huh? Divorce my Scott?
That should make you very happy to hear now, right?
Huh? Hold on a moment. Did Scott say that he was okay with you doing that to him?
I don't know how he'll feel about this. At this point, he has no other choice but to accept divorce now, right? Because as of right now, I am so serious about leaving him and you guys that I've gotten in touch with a lawyer.
Are you kidding me? Why would you say something like that to his own mother?
Because I'm serious about all of this, and I feel you need to understand that very well. And besides, you've been the one calling me a stranger for the longest time now, even though I've been with Scott for 3 years.
I understand that, but right now we are in a very tough situation.
Huh? You're in a tough situation?
Then tell me, Joan, who else is going to be coming out here to come and pick us up from the hospital? We're stuck here without a car, and we all have injuries that we need to rest from so that they can heal. If you don't come out here and get us, we'll be stuck. Do I sound like I give a crap? What? Joan!
I've had it up to here with all of you guys and the crap you've constantly given me. I am not your guys' frickin' driver that you can use whenever you want and then throw away at the last minute. If you all want to do something that requires a car to get to, then you take responsibility for that and actually learn to drive.
Wait, please, Joan! Can you calm down about all of what's happened just a tad bit? Joan, you've never been this cold-hearted to all of us before, right? I'm sure that once you've had a second to cool off, you'll be fine with coming out here and picking us all up.
Don't worry about not having someone come to get you. Because even if I don't plan on being there to take you home, the police will be.
What? What do you mean by the police will be here to take us home?
It's so great to hear that you all are at least not in a life-threatening situation anymore. But you got into a car accident while not carrying a valid driver's license. Did you think that the police would never show up to investigate that accident? The moment they realized that you have no driver's license and were driving that car, they are going to take you into custody.
Take me into custody? Are you sure? But I got injured in that accident as well. Everyone in the family is hurt in some way, and none of us are in the place to be dealing with the police right now. So why the hell would they take me into custody?
Well, I'm just telling you what will most likely happen, so I'm sorry that your poor choices are catching up to you. But what you did was against the law, and in that crash you caused a lot of problems for other people around you. Now tell me, Doris, why do you keep trying to play things off as though you've done nothing wrong this whole time? You already messed up the moment you left me in the mountains when it's the middle of winter and not many people are around. Idiot! And with that one extremely stupid choice, you tied the knot to the noose that's been around your neck this whole time. Stinking idiot!
Joan, I am really in a tough spot right now, and so is the rest of the family. Don't you think you're taking things a bit too far now by laughing at me with no sympathy to what's happened? Is there nothing about what's happened that's bothering you?
Anything bothering me? There's nothing about what's happened with you all that bothers me now. All you are to me now is a couple of strangers that are so rotten that you left me in the mountains in the freezing cold, after telling me you didn't even reserve a spot for me at the resort. And soon I'll be divorced from Scott and we'll be able to cut ties to you all for good. I'm sure when Scott finds out about the divorce, he'll be in just as big of trouble as you're in right now. But he has his family, so please be there to support him after I leave.
What do you mean Scott will be in trouble? Why do you keep talking about how we'll be in trouble?
Well, Scott used to work a job as a truck driver, right? Did you think that he'd be able to continue his job as a truck driver after losing his license, though?
Huh? Then Scott, what's he been doing now?
Well, for the past few months, he's been playing video games all day without ever moving from the couch.
Then that means he's not making any money right now.
Well, if you think about it, not having a job would stop you from making any money, right? I have to say that all of this happened at the perfect time for me. I'd been thinking of leaving him for at least a year now. So now you can all work together as a family to find a way out of your guys' troubles.
Joan, wait, please! Right now, my own daughter isn't working a job either, and she's not even looking for one currently. Who is going to be the one to pay for my husband and I from now on? Who's going to be the one to pay for the wrecked car and all of our hospital bills now?
Don't be so crazy, Doris. I hope you didn't start to think that you could ask me to pay for all you guys now. You all are complete strangers to me. And that's exactly what you'd been wishing for. Now the four of you do your best to make it out of that terrible situation in any way you possibly can. Goodbye forever, you old scummy hag. After all of that, Joan began to completely ignore Scott and his family. And as for Scott's mom, Doris, she was taken from the hospital by the police and moved to a local jail where she would be held until her court date. Scott tried reaching out to Joan for forgiveness, telling her he'd try harder to be a good husband, but Joan no longer had the patience to listen to him cry. After everything that whole family did to Joan, this is the only outcome. Joan was able to come out on top, cutting ties with that whole toxic family for good. But that ended up leaving Scott with his messed up family as they now raced towards a terrifying end. Well, this is what they all asked for after treating Joan like garbage, and so the only way they'll be able to make it out is as a changed family. At least they can all be thankful that Doris's decision to drive didn't leave them all 6 feet under.